Last night, I woke up in the middle of the night and I couldn't sleep, and I was reading some articles, and there was an article about this dog that had gone missing from a pet resort, and they had security cameras, and it showed this dog, which was a pretty good size, probably 70-pound dog, scaling a 6 or 7 foot vinyl fence and jumping
Wow.
over the fence during his playtime
Wow.
outside, and I'm like, what the heck? So anything can
Wow.
happen that you don't expect. Now who would have
Yep.
thought that on a vinyl, shiny, slippery fence,
Yeah.
a dog could actually do that? But I mean, crazier things
Yeah.
happen, you know?
Yep. Yep. That's
But
that's for sure.
yeah.
And it seems like not a week goes by that we don't have a dog that goes missing from either a car accident
Oh, I
or a home invasion.
know.
And again, so it's not something that the people were planning for or thinking about. I mean, they can be the most responsible people in the world, but if somebody, if they have a home invasion and their dog gets let out, which is what
Yeah.
usually happens, that the
Yeah.
thief goes in and really doesn't want the dog bothering them, so they just let the dog out, and then the dog's missing. Um,
Yeah.
or
We
or
haven't
there's a car
really.
accident and the dog thrown from the car.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that lately. And I think more people are
Hmm.
traveling with the snowbirds traveling and whatever.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of that, sadly. But one of the things, like you mentioned, a home invasion, I don't, we may have had an incident or two of that where a burglary has taken place. But what we see more here, due to the demographics, I guess, are if there's a medical emergency and the EMTs or something go into a house, and they're focused on saving the human and not realizing that there's a pet in the house or something, and
Yeah.
and it runs out. So that
Yep.
happens more frequently here, I
Yeah,
think.
I can
Yeah.
I can definitely see that because the dog's probably already scared. Here's some strange people coming in the house, maybe wheeling in a stretcher or something, and there's the perfect opportunity for them to escape.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And very likely unseen, because the
yeah,
the medical professionals are focused on, getting to do what they need to do and probably don't even see that.
right, right.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, there's a lot of
um,
things that people don't realize, and when you really start focusing on the purpose of the chips and the tags and, this and that, it makes sense.
yeah.
It does make sense. Oh. But
Well,
even
uh,
even if we talk about the animal welfare organizations and vets and scanning and stuff, we run into sometimes that there's a new employee, maybe a front desk person that is tasked with scanning a pet, you know, and
hmm
maybe they're not really trained right. I've had some of
right.
my people bring pets into to ER vets, and I've been told that, they scan real faster on the neck. Well, there's more
Yeah,
to the dog than just the neck, that
yeah,
needs to be
absolutely.
scanned. Yeah.
Yep, yep. Because it's not uncommon for the microchip to move. Or
Right.
either very soon after it was implanted because the dog was jumping around or running, or it really just hadn't kind of set in the muscle yet, or just over time, over the years. Or it's a breed like we find with some of the really hefty kind of breeds like bulldogs and
Mhm.
basset hounds and things like that. That there's a big layer of muscle and fat over top, and you have to go slow. It's not just, you can't just wave the wand over and poof, it
Right.
appears.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah,
And
because
the
I
other
think it
thing
was
that
you. Oh, sorry. I just wanted to interject there because I think it was
yeah,
you that said it on one of our interviews that they have to go slow. And the reason was because it had to cycle. These universal
yeah,
scanners had to cycle through all those different frequencies or something. And that's an important reason why people need to go slow.
right, absolutely. And we have seen also an uptick in people that want to be helpful, and I really appreciate that they're really wanting to help solve the problem. But they
Hmm.
go on to Amazon, and there is a scanner on Amazon uh, that's, I think it's about $125, that is not a universal scanner. So
No.
they think, okay, well, I'm going to buy that and I'm going to scan pets in my community,
Mhm.
which, good for them for trying to be helpful. But if it's not a universal scanner, it's probably, well, most definitely, it's probably missing microchips. And
Yes. Mhm.
so, rather than save up a little bit and buy one that's a universal scanner, they're just going, with the lowest option out there, which may not really help the situation at all because there may
Right.
be pets that don't get back home.
Right. And that's an important thing. We tell everybody when they go and get their found pet, if they found a pet, make sure you ask, is it a universal scanner you're asking? And make
Hmm.
sure you mention the pet microchip lookup.org. Now, whether they do it or not, I don't know. I hope they do because we remind them every single time, to ask if that's what they're doing. Because I
Yes,
had somebody
yes,
once tell me, "Oh, I just was Googling it." Googling what? You know?
yeah. I
You know,
know.
why would you do that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I know there is that one registry that all you have to do is Google the number, but that's I mean, I run into that only once, just once,
Yes,
you know?
yes.
And
I've heard of that, but I don't think I've ever actually seen a pet that's been microchipped for that microchip up
yeah, I
here.
had
So yes,
one. Yeah.
yeah.
But it's it is that is part of this problem, I guess, and that people want to help and we do appreciate that, but if you're going to help, you absolutely without question need to learn the techniques, you have to learn the products, you have to learn how to
Hmm.
look it up, you have to learn the exact methods for every part of it, or you're not doing it. You're not doing it
Right,
right, you might as well not even do it.
right, exactly, right. Yeah, and the other thing that I'd like to stress on that is, make sure it has fresh batteries in it.
Mm-hmm.
I see that time and time again that somebody's scanning a pet and they don't want to go spend the $8 or whatever to put fresh battery. And batteries are expensive, but if you leave batteries sit in a scanner for months and months and months, they will, uh, they will start to deteriorate and they won't pick up all the microchips.
Yeah.
We always have lots of fresh batteries when we do events, and first sign that the batteries are starting to die down, we put fresh ones in. I volunteered at a shelter many years ago, and I don't like to point fingers or name names, but um, as a volunteer, and this was something that was already on my radar screen, I was just horrified at how often the back staff would be using a microchip scanner with batteries that were almost dead.
Mm.
And I was personally running out and buying batteries all the time to keep fresh batteries in that scanner.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
and there
sure
should, and
that's
really in a yeah, in a
that.
shelter situation or a vet clinic, there should be more than one scanner. They should be using a couple of different scanners. So if
Mhm.
they don't find a chip, and we do that at our events too. We have two different brands of universal scanners, and if we don't find a microchip with one, we do it with the other. And quite often we'll find it with one and not the other.
Mm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to it, and
Hmm.
we're going to start an awareness of this year because it is an issue. I mean, we see way too many unregistered chips or outdated
Hmm.
chips every single day. I had a call first thing this
Yeah.
morning from a lady who lost her dog on Thursday. Is it microchipped? Yes, it is. Is it updated? I don't know. I don't think so.
Ah.
I
Yeah.
know. Well, do you have the chip number? I hope so. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Oh, I know. I know, and quite often it will be when somebody has gotten a pet from a friend or family member or somebody that rehomed the pet and it was microchipped, but it never gets changed into the new owner's name.
Yeah.
And so again, you're dealing with um, you know wasting time. And in the shelter situation, a lot of times you don't have a lot of time.
Right.
Um, they're, they, I here in Wisconsin, um, if they can't track down that microchip, it's not very many days, and they can rehome that animal to a new home, and they have done everything legally.
Mm.
So if you've made it really difficult for them to get a hold of you, you are not doing yourself any favors.
Yeah, or the
Because
pet.
yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
Once your pet is rehomed to a new home, there is no recourse,
Hmm.
unless you want to try in civil court, but that is not very successful, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
because the shelter has done everything that they're supposed to do.
yeah. Oh, all right. Well, this is one of our favorite topics.
Yeah.
Right. All right, Kathy. Well, we're at the end of the show, and if you could quickly tell everybody how to reach you and check out your webpage and look up Lost Dogs of America, that would be great.
Yes, so we are Lost Dogs of America. Our website is lostdogsofamerica.org, and our Facebook page is just Lost Dogs of America. So we're always happy to happy when people come to our website and read our articles, and come to our Facebook page and read our posts. We can also be reached at lostdogs of America at gmail.com.
All
It's
right.
very simple.
Yep. All right, Kathy. So for now, everybody remember that a lost pet can't tell anyone where it lives. So please be sure your pet is microchipped and wearing its ID tags and that microchip is up to date. I'm your host, Patty Giarusso, and this has been Let's Talk Pets on Society Bites Radio. Thanks for joining us today. And until next time, take care and keep your pets safe.